Welcome to this overview of drafting your plans from scratch tutorial. In this video, we'll guide you through the drawing module of BuildingWorks so you can start drawing professional plans in minutes. To use the drawing module of BuildingWorks, you'll need a mouse with a scroll wheel. If you haven't got one, you can pick one up from a local PC shop or supermarket for a few pounds. You may find it helpful to have a copy of the BuildingWorks shortcut key guide next to you as well, to help you with drafting your plans. Double-click on the BuildingWorks icon on your desktop to launch the software. From the BuildingWorks home screen, you can create new projects and open existing ones. There are also links to help topics which you might find useful. To get started, you need to create a project. A project encompasses all of the work you're undertaking for a client on a specific site. A project may consist of just one job, for example an extension, or multiple jobs, as in the case of a development with multiple houses. Click New on the left-hand menu. Tick the checkboxes next to the items you want to include in your project. The options available will depend on the version of BuildingWorks you've subscribed to. Click Drawing, and then select a drawing template from the drop-down box. The template you select will determine the page size, scale and orientation, and whether it includes a notes block or not. You can change the scale and page size later on from within the drawing module if you need to. If you have the estimate module, BuildingWorks will automatically add an estimate to the project, so it can begin creating an instant estimate based on your drawing. Click Create Project. After a moment, you'll find yourself looking at the project details screen. From the project details screen, you can add the client and site address details. You can also add extra jobs to your project if you need to. Take a few moments to familiarise yourself with the screen. Depending on the version of BuildingWorks you're running, the project details screen may appear slightly differently. From the main window, you can open the Drawing and Estimate modules, if you've subscribed to them both. At the top of the screen is the ribbon. You'll see different tabs on the ribbon with different buttons, depending on which screen you're looking at. The Project Explorer sits on the left-hand side of the screen. You can use the Project Explorer to navigate your way around BuildingWorks. Click on the drawing on the Project Explorer. This is the drawing screen. The Project Explorer remains on the left-hand side of the screen. On the ribbon at the top of the screen, you'll notice a new set of tabs. On the Architectural tab, you'll see all of the intelligent building design tools you'll need for your plans, such as walls, windows, staircases and roofs. You'll find BuildingWorks quicker to use than other CAD packages you may have seen, as the tools are pre-configured specifically for construction and include all of the professional drawing detail you need. You might like to begin your drawing by adding construction lines to help you set out the external walls of your building. Go to the Drawing and Annotation tab of the ribbon and click on either a horizontal or vertical construction line button. Once you've selected a construction line tool, move your cursor onto the drawing area. You'll see that you're effectively holding the construction line with the cursor. Once you're happy with the position of the construction line, click the left mouse button to place it. Now you can use the Relative tool to place another line by measuring from the first one. Hover your cursor over the construction line you've just drawn until the word Nearest pops up. Don't click on the nearest snap point, just place your cursor over it. If a nearest snap point doesn't appear, click the nearest snap button at the top of the screen. Once you've found a nearest snap point, press the R key on your keyboard. BuildingWorks will then give the measurements relative to the point you snapped to on the construction line. You've guessed it, R stands for relative. To place the next construction line, press an arrow key on your keyboard to indicate the position of the new construction line relative to the first one. I'm going to press the right arrow key to indicate that the next construction line is to the right of the first one. The distance dialog box pops up. Enter the distance to the next construction line. I want to place this construction line 9,000 mm or 9 meters to the right, so I'm going to type that distance into the input box. The units you're working in will depend on your program setting. By default, BuildingWorks is set to millimeters. Once you've entered the distance, click OK. BuildingWorks automatically places the construction line 9,000 mm to the right of the first vertical construction line. Continue placing your construction lines in this way. Once your construction lines are in place, you're ready to draw the external walls, Go to the Architectural tab and click on the External Walls drop-down menu. BuildingWorks comes supplied with a wide range of external wall types, from traditional masonry cavity walls to timber frame, SIPs and ICF walls. Once you start drawing, you'll see the automatic professional detailing. Click on a wall type. For this example, I'm going to use the stone-clad cavity block walls. The Wall Component Builder pops up. From here you can choose the specification and configuration of your external wall and enter its dimensions. Some of this information, such as the width of each leaf, is required to draw your wall. Some of the data captured here is used to build the estimate as you draft your plans, if you have a subscription to the Estimate module. What's more, you can later add notes about your chosen specification to your drawing, based on the selections you make here. Start by selecting a wall specification which suits your job. A choice of specifications with different thermal values, thicknesses and costs are available. Each specification includes real materials and manufacturer product data. Take a look at the U-values, wall thickness and rate per square metre to help you select your wall specification. If you need to, you can tailor a specification by clicking on it and then clicking the Review Specification button. You can swap or edit a resource within the specification, or delete any rates or resources you don't need. You can also add items to the specification. Once you're happy with the wall specification, click Next to move on to the next page of the Wall Component Builder. Now select a configuration. If you select the upper floor option, no footings and foundations will be included. For this example, I'm going to draw the ground floor, which does include foundations and footings, as you'd expect. Once you've selected your configuration, click Next. The next screen prompts you to select a specification for the foundations. As with the wall specification, you can review and edit a foundation specification using the Review Specification button. But if you're happy with the specification as it is, click Next. Now you can review the foundation dimensions. If this Next button ever says scroll down, it means there are input boxes you need to review further down the screen. Once you've scrolled down and reviewed all of the dimensions, the Next button will reappear. You can click back at any time if you realise you need to go back and make changes. Otherwise, click Next to continue to the footing details. This next screen prompts you to select a specification for the footings. Select the footing specification you want to use and review it, or click Next if you're happy as it is. The next screen requires you to select a footing configuration. Of course, it's crucial that you ensure your selected foundation and footing are compatible in terms of construction and dimensions. Select the configuration you require and then click Next. Now you can review the footing dimensions. If you click into an input box, you can check out the handy tech tip at the top of the screen to see exactly what dimension is required. You can click the Tab key to move between the input boxes. Check that the height of the DPC is correct, and then click Next. Finally, you can tell BuildingWorks about the dimensions of the wall. Enter the height of unfinished wall. In other words, the height of wall which is taken up by the floor above and doesn't require plastering or decoration on the internal side. Now select a wall height from the drop-down box. Alternatively, you can type a wall height into the drop-down box. And once you're happy, click Next. As this is a stone-clad wall, there's one more screen asking you to check the price allowance for the stone cladding. Scroll across the screen, change the price if required, and then click Finish. You're now ready to draw your walls. Take a look at the instructions window at the bottom of the screen. The instructions window gives helpful step-by-step prompts on how to draw each item. Make sure you refer to the instructions window each time you're drawing a new element. Right now, the instructions window is telling us to click to place the start point. Now this is the easy bit. Simply click on any construction line intersection point to begin drawing the walls. Let's zoom in on the top left-hand corner of the drawing page. Place your cursor over the area of screen you want to zoom in on, and scroll the mouse wheel away from you. Find the intersection point on the construction lines where you want to start the wall. Then click and release the left mouse button to place the start point. Don't hold down the left mouse button, just click and release. The red line on the wall highlights which side of the wall you're placing with your cursor clicks, while the arrow identifies the external side of the wall. You'll notice a set of wall tools appear on the ribbon when you're drawing your walls. From here you can change the external side of the wall by selecting either right or left from the external side drop-down box. The justification drop-down box tells BuildingWorks which side of the wall to place with your mouse clicks. I'm happy with the justification and external side of my walls for now, so I'm going to carry on clicking to place my walls. Now the instructions are telling us to click to place the next point. Locate the next intersection point to place the next corner of your walls. If dimensions appear rather than the word intersection or perpendicular, press the F7 key on your keyboard to switch on snap mode. Simply click the left mouse button to place the corner of the walls on the intersection point. Continue placing your walls in this way. Click back onto the first point of your walls to complete the loop and close your walls. Of course, if you have a subscription to the estimate module of BuildingWorks, the software is instantly estimating your plans as you go. Take a look at the estimate cost at the bottom right hand corner of your screen. If you zoom in on your walls, you'll notice that the hatching highlights each leaf of the wall and the stone cladding. You can click to place your internal walls in a similar way, using the R key as you did with the construction lines to measure from the corners of your external walls. Hover your cursor over a snap point on the external walls and then press the R key on your keyboard to measure from that point. Now the internal walls are in place, let's add some windows. On the Architectural tab, click on the Windows drop-down menu. I'm going to use PVCU windows. The Window Component Builder pops up. The first screen prompts you to select a window from the onboard library. You'll see that there's a huge range of windows to choose from, and if you have the estimate module, these are all fully priced. You can sort the windows using a variety of filters, such as manufacturer, U-value and colour. I'm going to filter the windows by width. To select a window with a 1038mm width. I'm also going to filter the windows to show 1338mm high windows. Click on a window to select it, and then click Next. The next screen prompts you to enter a couple of dimensions for the window. Check the height from the floor to the top of the window dimension. This dimension will place the windows at the correct height in any elevations you draw. Use the Tab key to move to the next input dimension box and check the external reveal depth. Once you're happy with the dimensions, click Finish. Now you're ready to place the windows on the drawing. The instructions ask you to select an insertion point on the wall. I'm going to place the window in the front wall of the house. If snap points such as nearest and midpoints appear next to your cursor when it's hovering over the wall, you're in snap mode. I'm going to press the F7 key to switch on snap mode now. Sometimes you might want to insert a window into the middle of a wall, and can do so by finding and clicking on the appropriate snap point. To place your windows by measuring from the end of a wall, you'll need to switch over to dimension mode. To do this, press the F8 key on your keyboard. Once in dimension mode, you'll see that BuildingWorks is by default set up to measure to the centre of the window. To measure to one side of the window, you need to change the justification. I want to place the right side of this window 1340mm from the right corner of the wall. The justification of the measurement is dependent on the way the wall is facing, so it may at first be a bit confusing. Imagine you're standing inside the house, facing towards the wall you're working on. This will give you your left and right justification. So in this case, I need to set the justification to left. You can change the justification by selecting an option from the Justification drop-down box. If I hold my cursor over the external leaf, BuildingWorks shows the dimensions from the ends of the external leaf to the left side of the window. If I hold my cursor over the internal leaf, it measures from the ends of the internal leaf to the left side of the window. You can place the window using the on-screen dimensions to guide you, or alternatively you can enter a dimension. To enter a dimension, click on the distance input box at the bottom right of the screen. Highlight the figure that's in there, and then type in the distance from the end of the wall into the input box. Place your cursor over the wall again. You'll see that BuildingWorks has automatically placed the window 1340mm from the end of the wall. Click the left mouse button to place the window. After you've placed the window Component Builder pops up again, this time asking you to select a lintel. BuildingWorks automatically locates a range of lintels suitable for your wall type, thickness and opening width. This information is essential if you're estimating as you design. BuildingWorks captures the data to produce an estimate if you have the estimate module or choose to upgrade your subscription in the future. Once you've selected the lintel you want to use, click Next. Finally, the component builder prompts you to select a specification. As with all specifications, you can review it by clicking on the specification and clicking the Review Specification button. Or if you're happy with it out of the box, click Finish. You can see from the instructions window that BuildingWorks is now prompting you to place another window with the same specification to fast-track your window placement. If you finish placing windows of this specification, press the Escape key on your keyboard to drop the window insertion tool. Otherwise, continue placing your windows. BuildingWorks remembers the window insertion settings from the window you just placed. Use the Justification drop-down box to change the justification and the Tab key to change the active dimension as required, and enter a distance into the distance input box. Continue placing your windows and doors in this way. The process is exactly the same for placing doors, only you may need to select the hinge side and direction of opening of the door. Placing other symbols onto your drawing takes no time at all. Choose from an extensive library of staircases, plumbing and heating, electrical, kitchen and bathroom symbols on the Architectural tab. In just a few minutes you can add all the detail you need to create professional looking plans. As you can see, I've now drawn my first floor plans. This house is half stone clad and half rendered, so I've drawn each floor from scratch. However, if your upper floor walls have the same specification as your ground floor walls, you can take a shortcut and copy your ground floor plan to create the first floor plan. Take a look at the video on copying your ground floor plan for help on how to do this. Now let's add a roof. I'm going to start by adding a straightforward apex roof. Find the Roofs drop-down menu on the Architectural tab. Select the roof type you want from those available, including cut, truss, SIPs and flat roofs. I'm going to use the cold truss roof. The roof component builder pops up. From here you can choose the specification and type or shape of roof and enter its dimensions. Start by choosing a specification which suits your job. I'm going to scroll down the screen and choose the specification with timbers at 400mm and a basic thermal performance. Once you've chosen your specification, click Next. The next screen prompts you to select a type of roof. Click on a roof image or the adjacent radio button to select a roof type. Apex roof is already selected, so I can click Next. The next screen asks you to enter the dimensions of the room. I'm happy with a pitch of 45 degrees, but you can of course overtype the default pitch. Review the other dimensions, ignoring the value options as they're not relevant in this case, and then click Next. In the case of a truss roof, there's one more screen which gives you the opportunity to tweak the roof truss allowance. Scroll across the window, check you're happy with the figure, and then click Finish. BuildingWorks is now ready to draw the roof. There are 4 simple steps to drawing an apex roof. Don't forget to follow the on-screen instructions to guide you through the process. The first instruction tells you to click on any wall that the roof is on. BuildingWorks will take the wall plate height from this wall, so it doesn't really matter which wall you click on. I'm going to click on the front wall of the house. The next instruction tells you to click on the first corner to indicate the width of the building. In the case of an apex roof, the width of the building means the gable end of the roof. When drawing a hipped roof, the width is the hip end of the roof. I'm going to click on the back right corner of the house. The next instruction tells you to click on the second corner to indicate the width of the building. I'm now going to click on the front right corner of the house. Finally, the instructions tell you to click on the opposite corner to indicate the length of the building, or press T to join an existing wall or roof. We're not joining a wall or other roof on this occasion, so simply need to click on the opposite end of the building. It doesn't matter which corner you click on. I'm going to click on the back left corner of the house. After a moment, your roof will appear on screen. Once you've drawn your roof, the Extra Items window will open up. The Extra Items window shows you all the extra items you can add to the roof. You can add your ceiling, loft hatch, bracing, purlins, binders and rainwater goods from here. For help on doing this, take a look at the video on drawing roofs. For more complex roofs, you can piece together different roof configurations to create an endless number of roof shapes. Don't forget, in just a few clicks, you can create automatic elevations straight from your plans. Take a look at the video on creating elevations to learn how to do this. Now let's take a look at the impressive 3D model which BuildingWorks has created directly from your plans. The 3D model should already be available on screen. Click on the 3D model tab to open it. If it's not currently on screen, launch the 3D model by going to the Views and 3D tab and clicking the 3D model button. You can rotate the model to view it from different perspectives by placing your cursor over the model and holding down the left mouse button. Move your mouse to the left or right to rotate the model, and up or down to view the design from the bottom or the top. You can click the Home button to reset the model to its original view at any time. You can view the 3D model in solid, textured, wireframe or transparent mode using the options on the 3D model toolbar. Hover your cursor over a button for a tooltip which explains what the button does. To create stunning 3D photo realistic visuals of your design, which will really wow your clients, take a look at the rendering options in the 3D Photorealistic plugin, if this is included in your subscription. Don't forget, you can also add dimension lines and labels to your plans in a couple of clicks. To automatically add dimension lines to the walls, left-click on a wall to select it, then right-click and select Dimension from the menu which appears. Then simply click to place the dimension lines. Repeat for each wall. To add labels, go to the Labels tab. Double-click on the label you want to add. Change the font style if you want to, then simply click to place the label on your plans. Repeat to label all of your rooms and the layouts and elevations too. So, within half an hour you've drawn your walls, windows, doors, bathrooms, plumbing and electrics and roof. And what's more, if you've signed up for the estimate module, while you've been focusing on the design, BuildingWorks has been working hard behind the scenes to build an instant estimate. Take a look at the estimate cost at the bottom right of the screen. Power to you!